Greetings. Welcome to our Raja Yoga Teacher Trainings open house. I'm Felicia Savage Friedman, she, her, hers. I'm the founder and CEO of YogaRoots on Location. We are delighted that you are here investigating and exploring our yoga teacher training. And so to introduce you to our practice, we want to use this time for a concentration practice. So in this moment, I ask you not to multitask, not to even look at a screen right now. Just really honor yourself in this moment. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, breath out, breath out, breath out, breath out, breath out. Pause. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, breath out, breath out, breath out, breath out, breath out. Pause. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, breath out, breath out, breath out, breath out, breath out. Continue breathing at your own pace and let this breathing practice remind you to take exceptional care of yourself while you're with us in terms of viewing this recording. So going to the bathroom when you need to, pausing it, doing whatever you need to do to take good care of yourself. So this is our agenda for our open house. So of course the welcome, which I've done. We will ask you to check in with Forest of Feelings, our YogaRoots on Location Forest of Feelings, introduce you to our team, hear some of our story, and hear a more expanded version of what the training is, as well as the curriculum of the training. We'll talk about a bit about the purpose of affinity spaces, and then move into expectations and experiences from past folks, then go into sharing about tuition and scholarship, and then what are your next steps? And we will end with a universal meditation. This is our YogaRoots on Locations Forest of Feelings. So honoring the fact that we know that we have at any point in time, we can feel conflicting emotions, or many, many emotions all at the same time. We wanted to share this list of 75 feelings and emotions so you can really just drop in and check in with yourself in this moment. And so just to give you a little time, just check in. Also remember, with feelings, you can feel conflicting feelings at the same time. So giving yourself permission to feel whatever you're feeling. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, breath out, breath out, breath out, breath out. Now we'll go into introducing our team to you. So as you see, first person listed is yours truly, Felicia Savage Friedman. As I've already shared, she, her, hers are my pronouns. I'm the lead instructor. Also, as I said, I'm the founder and CEO of YogaRoots on Location. I have a 500-hour experienced RYT, registered yoga teacher certification, and YogaRoots on Location. Also, it is a certified and registered school. And also we're certified and registered to share continuing education credits. That's it for me. So I'll pass the baton to Maya.
Thank you, Mom. Hello, everyone. I'm Maya Savage, YogaRoots on Locations, Director of Programming. I have been a certified yoga instructor for 18 years and received my 200-hour training with YogaRoots on Location Flight 4 back in 2020. I am serving currently as Yoga Roots on Location Director of Programming. So, to certify educators as well as social workers to receive continuing education credits, as well as a co instructor for our 200-hour yoga teacher training, which is all virtual. And I am delighted and honored and grateful to pass the mic to our other co lead instructor, Sheba.
Thank you, Sister Maya. Thank you, Felicia. My name is Sheba Gittens. I use she, they pronouns. I am super excited to share this information with you all about the yoga teacher training. I had the honor of being in the first cohort and graduating from the first cohort, which is just a blessing on blessing. And so I am a 500-hour RYT certified yoga instructor. I received my 200-hour with Yoga Roots on Location. And I am also a prenatal instructor. I'd now like to introduce Catherine Reed in spirit and in energy, as our good sis is not here with us. And Catherine participated in the second flight of the yoga teacher training and will be our guest teacher, supporting us as we navigate the bounty and curious space of yoga anatomy. And she will be with us each month during our time together. I'm going to go ahead now and pass the mic to our good sis, Sue.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank you, Maya and Felicia. My name is Sue Shannon, she, they. I am a queer, cis, white woman of Lebanese and British descent. I'm a daughter, mother, spouse, partner, companion, friend. I'm so honored to be here. I'm also a graduate of the Yoga Roots on Location YTT training at 200 hours, and it was nothing short of life changing in the best way possible. In fact, life saving for me. So it's an honor to be part of the process of welcoming folks in. I am the director of operations at Yoga Roots on Location, and I'll be supporting the training behind the scenes, as well as supporting folks with their onboarding when they register for class. Uh, yeah, I'm feeling joyful and grateful to be here. So I'm honored to share a little bit about the Yoga Roots story. Yoga Roots on Location leads embodied collective liberation through Raja Yoga. We aim to meet people where they are and offer humane professional development, continuing ed, and certified Raja Yoga teacher training nationwide as well as now internationally. This collective liberation is our path to healing. We do it together. It is our dream to recognize our humanity and find the courage to end systems of oppression such as racism, patriarchy, colonialism, ableism, and capitalism. And we do see integrative Raja Yoga as a path to do so. And so we're excited to offer it to you all. Um, Felicia, our founder and CEO, started her practice in 1989 and has been teaching since 1995. So many decades of wisdom and experience and practice are being poured into this training. Yoga Roots on Location was founded in 2014 here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Felicia launched the first yoga teacher training flight in 2016. So a strong legacy of teaching and co-teaching. Our training started in person here in Pittsburgh, and then because of the COVID virus, we did move to virtual. And we've remained virtual for a number of reasons. One, the level of accessibility for all different learning styles, accessibility for students to join nationally and internationally, as well as enabling folks the ability to do this incredibly beautiful and sometimes very vulnerable learning in their chosen space of safety, comfort, and power. We've graduated at this point of the recording this open house, over 175 alum just through our teacher training program alone, including myself and our whole team here, and many more amazing souls. We generally start our flights each August. And in addition to teacher training, you know, as Maya and Felicia have already mentioned, our work has expanded to continuing ed for our fellow yogis, our social workers, our educators, as well as professional development and community agreement facilitation. So we here at YogaRoots are happy to offer a wide variety of practices for our community. And I'd like to, pass it along to Maya to give you all a little bit more information about Raja Yoga.
Thank you so much, Sue. That was beautiful to hear our story in that way and the different perspectives that you brought in. And to ground us in the reason that we call it our Raja Yoga teacher training is in Western philosophy, the practices of yoga have focused mostly on the asanas or physical postures. But the Raja Yoga, which is tailored from Patanjali's practice in the Yoga Sutras, is the foundation of the experiences that we engage. The eight limb path is truly the royal path. It is a practice of the ways that we treat ourselves as well as the ways that we treat others. And in all of those capacities, we start and we also circle back. So this is definitely not a linear path. These are branches of a tree and leaves that we will constantly be collecting, recycling, and practicing and engaging with on multiple levels. Because in this practice, the moment that we think we have arrived is another opportunity to practice. And so to explain just a little bit of what the Raja Yoga eight limb path looks like is we start with the niyamas, which are the ways that we practice with ourselves, the ways that we practice purity in our thoughts and our words and actions, the ways we practice being content in moments of uncertainty, the inner standings of how we show up within our discipline, and reflection practices that might happen every day or moment to moment, and the ways that we give ourselves permission to surrender to something bigger than ourselves. Our yamas are the ways that we practice being in community with each other. So the ways that we practice nonviolence, the ways that we practice truthfulness, non-stealing, non-access, moderation, celibacy, and non-possessiveness. And the ways that I really appreciate the yamas, not just saying the things that we're not doing, but the things that we want to practice. So how we practice thoughtful, kind, compassion, action, the ways that we practice sharing, the ways that we practice speaking our truth, the ways that we practice being in righteous relationship with each other, and understanding that we are all occupying this land and experiences, but nothing is ours. Everything has been gifted to us, and we have an opportunity to engage with these beautiful gifts as well as share them with others. The asana practice is the physical postures, but beyond being able to practice a downward facing dog or a perfect triangle, it's the ways that we engage intentional movement on a moment to moment basis. As someone who has navigated chronic pain for the past 6 years, all of my movement has to be intentional. I need to be truly present with my body so that I'm able to engage healthy ways of movement. And it gives me an opportunity every single moment to truly practice that intentional movement. Pranayama are the ways that we really notice our breath. There are multiple ways that we can engage our breathing techniques and exercises. And simply in this moment, just taking a deep breath, pausing at the top of my inhale, and exhaling to release any tension or stress that I was feeling or any urgency is an opportunity to practice our breathing techniques. The ways that we practice pratyahara is the ways that we notice the overload of our sensations or any time that we might be engaging our senses or also not practicing even engaging our senses at all. Those moments that we practice a disconnect from ourselves. Pratyahara gives us an opportunity to notice our senses, notice which ones we might be engaging too much or ones that we might need to focus on and create more space for. So even on a practice of accessibility, right now I have long locks, big gold, fake gold, let me be clear, earrings, gold plated. I have a yellow ponytail holder and a red shirt on. In this moment, to notice the ways that I'm grounded in my chair and the connection to this massager that's really helping my lower back is the ways that I need to practice being with my senses right now. I am tasting the past oat milk chocolate on my tongue. And I've also practiced not engaging with social media that much. So I've been practicing the ways that I avert my sense of sight from one thing and allow myself to rest my eyes. The dharana, our practice of concentration, is simply noticing what are we focusing our attention on. So there can be so much, I'm sure, at any point in time in our history, we notice all of the intensities, harm that can be done, but what are we giving ourselves the opportunity to practice in a day-to-day and moment-to-moment? We can practice and choose to engage our concentration to see all the beauty and joy that is on this planet. And we can also choose to concentrate on other things. In any practice of the 8-limb path, it's simply a noticing practice. It's releasing that level of self-judgment and simply noticing what we're choosing to concentrate on in our dharana practice. Our dhyana is our meditation practice. So Ma guided us beautifully through our universal meditation at the beginning of session to ground us, and we will engage a universal meditation at the end of session. The reason we call it that is it's important for no matter what spiritual path, religious practice, that we all get to hold space for each other in stillness and silence, honoring our neurospiciness. So at times, if you know you need to move, you need something in your hands to give you that opportunity to even be more present with yourself and with others, we also can engage that practice of meditation in that capacity. And Sumati, our final, but definitely will be constantly something that we come back to every single moment for ourselves, is what is our purpose? What are the ways that we get to practice being in our full, delicious human selves as we are practicing the 8-limb path, as we're engaging in community with each other? And so this is the full Raja Yoga 8-limb path that we honor here at Yoga Roots on location. And these beautiful limbs, you all, give us the opportunity to be in, once again, righteous relationship with ourselves as well as others. These are the practices and foundations of the ways that we engage as an organization, as well as in our everyday personal lives. So thank you all. And in this moment, just being able to notice the ways that you see yourself in the Raja Yoga 8-limb path. Thank you and see you soon.
Thank you, Maya. Our training, our 200-hour Raja Yoga teacher training. Yoga Roots on Location certified Raja Yoga teacher training is a collective liberation and anti-oppression training offered through the Yoga Alliance's 200-hour registered yoga teacher RYT certification. In this 13-month training, I'm going to say it again. In this 13-month training, y'all, each objective is rooted in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which detail our Raja Yoga's 8-limb pathway of study that Maya just shared with us. Our training centers unconditional love, self-study, and communal care as antidotes to systems of oppression such as racism, patriarchy, colonialism, ableism, capitalism, and all the isms that show up in a system of domination and land theft. And so our training is not just to look at the Raja Yoga pathway, but it's also to look at what is living inside of our bodies and utilize the medicine and the wisdom of such an ancient practice to upend these systems outside of our bodies, outside of our practices, outside of our communication with ourselves and one another. And so, in order to do that, we hold a very tender space once a month, one full weekend a month, except for the month of January, as we literally center a rest practice for all of us, our students, ourselves. It is a seasonal time of shifting and changing. And we're not playing, y'all. We're centering our well-being so that we can show up in the future. For that full weekend, it's going to be a 15-hour or more commitment, depending on how you're moving with the curriculum and with the homework assignments and so forth. But we'll talk about that in a second. All of the training is going to be via Zoom. It is going to occur where you reside. The ask is that you curate, co-create a space where you can bring your full presence into the training session. And we talk more about that during the orientation. Our trainings begin on a Friday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, from 12 to 6 on Saturdays and Sundays Eastern Standard Time. And we do have an attendance and missed class protocol that will be unpacked further during our orientation that Sue reminded us will happen in August. We center the reality that we are sharing a history. We all are feeling the impact and impressions of these systems within our own individual, communal, familial systems. And we're also sharing that collective history. And so in order for us to understand and overstand what's showing up for us, our aunties, our cousins, our neighbors, our friends, our family, we do center affinity spaces. And the affinity spaces are broken out into two categories: folks of the global majority and white folks. It is a very intentional curation of that space. And we unpack that a bit more when we go into the orientation and throughout our yoga teacher training. But there is certain stuff that we must heal from that our good sister in Sue is not going to have to navigate. And our good sister in Sue is going to have to do the work from an ancestral lineage that we don't have to navigate. Having those spaces 1 hour each weekend allows us to center the very real reality of how we have inherited this social system that connects us all, even though we already know that spirit been connected us all through the earth and through the medicine of these ancient practices. So we really do hold that space for us to unpack, keep it real with ourselves, and keep it real with one another. Those spaces are facilitated. Sue holds that space for the white folks, and any one of Felicia, Maya, or myself will hold that space for our folks of the global majority. So what is going on? 15 hours for one full weekend. What does that even look like? I heard you say homework. So let me tell you a bit about this. So, and these are rough estimates. I'm a person who watches a video, rewinds it, pauses it, goes back to it, comes back, goes back again, writes a couple of notes, sends myself 4 audio notes, and then comes back again. So 5 hours for me might look like, something longer. But then there are folks who listen to the videos in 2x, the speed of 2x or 1.5. And so you're moving and grooving through that information. We all have different ways of processing and receiving information. And our invitation is to choose what works best for you, because there's a 13-month commitment in which you are going to be practicing how to engage and show up in yourself, in your life, using these tools of Raja Yoga, using the tools of the various lessons and wisdoms that come forward when we gather together. So roughly, you'll be spending about 5 hours watching the videos and completing worksheets. And these are videos of brilliant scholars of life who have the PhDs in their existence, who are offering us medicine from what they know ancestrally, and what they put their focus and attention to. Then we have 4 hours teaching and observing. This again will all be unpacked with more detail. We're Virgos, some of us are Virgos here, so there's more detail that we're going to share around the observation practice as well as the teaching practice. And then there's blogs. Every day of training, that Friday, there's a blog. That Saturday, you're going to be blogging. That Sunday, drop a blog. And a part of that, as you've witnessed with the Forest of Feelings, is that we do believe it is important to check in with ourselves, to acknowledge what is showing up, and to name it for ourselves so that we can do the work to either bear witness to it or to move and shift energy as it makes sense for us. There is an hour of readings. We do review the literature of Patanjali, the Yoga Sutras. And so there is time where you will want to sit with the literature, and it's for you to break it up in a way that makes sense for you. There's other amazing yogic philosophy that you may want to dive into. There are scholars of this tradition and practice, as well as folks you may want to witness in your own community who are practitioners. So this is that self-study practice. This is the practice of tuning into yourself so that you can be a steward of what your experience is. How is this landing on my spirit? And what do I need to do in order to really understand more about myself, the practice, and what energies are showing up for me? So this is going to be a commitment, y'all. This is going to be a time for you to really show up for yourself, with a heightened degree of concentration. And so I offer this information as a guidance of what it could look like for a month of doing the work for the yoga teacher training. And it looks different for all of us. So I cannot emphasize that part enough. It will look different for all of us. Take your time. This is not school. We're operating on the business of being people and beings in this world. And so it took me about 4 years or so in order to get my full certification completed. You will get yours done if this is the energy that is there for you. It's about 3 or 4 years for me, but you will get it done in your own timing. And that's the type of time we're on, right? Honoring yourself, showing up for yourself, and being in good practices with yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. And I'm going to pass the mic over to our beloved Maya, who's going to share some of our student experiences.
Thank you, Sister Sheba. That was beautiful. I'm like, oh, I want to take the training again. It sounds so good. And it is, as you said, the joke that we have at YogaRoots on Location is that our training is truly taking a PhD course in yourself, in community with each other. And that's real. And so some of the ways that you will have a expectation or possible experiences that folks had coming into training, as well as even some of our own folks' experiences in training before, during, and after. If we are not practicing the 8-limb path on a daily basis, we will be showing up in spaces with each other during our collective time completely and totally unprepared, which also creates even discord around our community, as well as us as the instructors having to really do a lot of deep, heavy lifting in terms of extrapolating information and practices that are not present. So it's so crucial that everybody is practicing the 8 limbs and can have a clear explanation for how either you are practicing or not practicing, but having an understanding of what they are and how they show up for you is crucial in this 200-hour yoga teacher training. If you're only practicing when you're in community with each other during those weekends, it will show up. So once again, we cannot emphasize it enough. Do your own practicing with yourself, with others. But once again, this practice will always begin with the ways that we're treating ourselves, the ways that we're showing up. And so our expectation is that you show up prepared, not just from the perspective of doing your homework, but doing your everyday inner work, showing up for yourself so that when you come into community, you can have a beautiful transformative experience. Sue, I'll pass the mic back to you.
Thank you, Maya. Yeah, and I'm here to talk a little bit about tuition and scholarship. Just want to name, we're going to be talking about money in this capitalist society we live in. And as anti-capitalists, our goal is to practice commerce with you all in the most pro-human, pro-relationship, anti-capitalist, non-violent way possible in order to stay in our Raja Yoga practice. We really do want to prioritize the human relationship here. And we really do believe that this path of Raja Yoga and collective liberation should be accessible to all. And so we provide scholarships for any students that let us know they need scholarships. Some of our students are coming to us with a lot of abundance, and that's beautiful. Some of our students are coming to us without that abundance. And so we want to make sure that everyone has access to this training. Our standard tuition is $3,500. Our range of tuition that is available for students to select is between $600 and $7,000. And we also make payment plans available. And so when you sign up for the Raja Yoga teacher training, everyone is required to pay at least a $600 deposit. You can do that deposit through the payment plan of PayPal per PayPal Pay in 4. And the realities of our business are that we do have to require that $600 deposit. We've checked in with ourselves and we're being honest with you all about it. And so we ask our students to look at the various tuition levels available and check in with themselves. So, if you're exploring the possibility of doing this training with us, we ask you to look at the financial realities of your situation and decide which tuition is most in alignment with the financial reality. We don't ask you to provide us any additional information. We take you at your word. We are here to build relationships of trust. And so no additional information is required. And I invite you all to sit with the belief that we have that you deserve this training. Even if you can't come in at the $3,500 standard tuition, even if you don't have the abundance right now, you deserve this training, and we want you in this training. In this world, there's more currency than just money, and there's more ways to be in reciprocal relationship than sending us funds, and so please know that we all have something to contribute in this training. We all have ways that we show up and contribute as long as we're bringing our full selves. And if you have any doubt about that, I absolutely encourage you to get in touch with us. and we can have a conversation about it. But we absolutely hope to see you all there. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass back to Felicia to talk about next steps in doing that.
Yeah. Thank you, Sue. That was heartfelt. I'm signing up right now. Whew. So the next steps. So you want to sign up for yoga teacher training, right? So visit our website at yogaRootsOnLocation.com. And yeah, also sign up for our newsletter at the bottom of the page. Scroll to the bottom, sign up for the newsletter so you get ongoing information. Follow us on Instagram. And also the fourth way to get in touch with us too, or stay current, is to email us at smile@yogarootsonlocation.com. And just as Sue, Maya, Sheba have shared, we would be honored and humbled to have you in the next training. And so to close us out in this moment, I want you to ground yourself again. We've shared a lot of information with you over this time together. So we want to leave you with you being with yourself, being a human being, truly. So the type of meditation we practice is universal. So no matter what religious or spiritual tradition you practice, we're able to meditate together. And literally, that is by being still and quiet. And calling back to what Maya had shared, if you're neurospicy, that could look quite different for you. And so we give you explicit permission to listen to your inner yogi. So just a few moments of being together. Inhale, exhale, pause. Continue breathing at your own pace. And here is where we will sign off. Thanking you for your time and your energy and considering being with us for our Raja Yoga teacher training. Thank you all. So long. Farewell.
Thank you all. See you soon.